If I could have your attention, please. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending this most attended webinar or workshop of the day. I've been doing webinars for the past 2 years, nearly 100 of them, at least 100 of them over the past 2 years, helping entrepreneurs, small businesses get online, increase their digital capacities in all aspects in quite a few different verticals. My name is Martin Guerrero. I work for Block Inc., which you probably formerly knew as Square Inc. So Block Inc. is a technology company that has the following portfolio. Square Inc., which you know as the small business, medium-sized business tools and services, right? Anything from processing a payment to going online to small business loans, all of those small business resources that you know Square for. The other companies are Cash App, which is the peer-to-peer money transfer system, which is looking to change the world's relationship with money. We also have Tidal, which is the music streaming service, a competitor to like a Spotify, right? Musicians, artists are business owners as well, so we're looking at building tools for them to be able to succeed as well. So using either Square, Cash App, to sell tickets, to sell merchandise, to sell their music online, right? All these different tools for them because they're businesses as well. We also have our Bitcoin development initiatives, TBD. That's the name, it's TBD. And Spiral, which was formerly Square Crypto, both working to develop Bitcoin technologies without having to go through the major institutions, right? So we provide grants and build open source tools for anyone to be able to widen the Bitcoin platform. All of which is to say, all of these have the same mission of economic empowerment. These are all tools to help empower individuals and businesses alike. So today, happy to discuss integrating brick and mortar with e-commerce, which we'll be going over today, just some of the topics here, real general conversation. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask as we go along here. Covering over the relationship between the physical store and digital commerce in the coming years. Obviously, when COVID hit, we saw the rapid acceleration of folks having to jump online, right? That was already happening at a record pace, but COVID really just accelerated that beyond what anyone had anticipated. And so what did that mean for the physical spaces, right? We hear all these stories of folks, I was able to transition, I was able to do this, I was able to do that. But a lot of businesses, small businesses, Latino businesses, weren't able to necessarily leave their business, right? They weren't able to get out of their lease or anything like that. So they had to, or they didn't have an online presence, so they couldn't do anything else. So what could they do with that physical space? And that's changed over the past 2 years. Again, accelerating that system and talking about just the integrated systems that'll be crucial to operations. For far too long, these businesses have been piecemealing together their systems, a point of sale that didn't talk to their website. If they had a website, maybe they had a website, but it didn't take orders, right? They were using a third-party partner maybe to take orders, right? None of this spoke together. They're using payroll, using paper time cards, or using, analytics, or using a spreadsheet of some sort. Really, nothing combining. So we're talking about what those will do. And just the different utilities that we've seen businesses adapt to, right? BOPIS is the hot term, right? BOPIS, anyone know what that stands for? Buy online, pick up in store. Yeah, you got it. Buy online, pick up in store. I've never heard of BOPIS. Yeah. We're trying to make it happen, okay? But yeah, that's something that just is now there, right? And you saw it at first for like a Walmart or a Target. You saw the parking spaces start to get taken up, those prime parking spots taken up for that. But you didn't see that for a small business. But those are tools that are now available for a small business. They can offer that, right? Curbside Pickup, which at the beginning of 2020 was not on Square's roadmap at all. Like we had heard some talk about it, but it wasn't really on our roadmap, not until March of 2020 hit, and these businesses were sheltered in place. Their dining rooms were closed. Like we need something else to make this work. So our team of engineers quickly put together the opportunity to offer curbside pickup via their Square online store, right? So they could still use their space, but they could use an ordering website. Someone comes, it's paid for online, no handling cash, right? No handling cards, and keeping that safe distance, and then being able to then just offer that customer, show up, open your trunk, we'll throw it and you take off, right? That's how I was at the beginning of COVID for a lot of businesses, and just the different things that they've had to adapt to. And then just kind of talking about how folks are pivoting from their retail locations, what they're using them for now versus just a standard storefront. I spoke on this a little bit here. We saw a 5-year transition when it was compressed into a 30-day window, right? Like I said, Square, curbside delivery, the option for food delivery, like all that stuff was created as a result of the pandemic, and all of these things that folks had to do or were wanting to do were really just compressed into that small time frame, because if they didn't survive, unfortunately. And I'm sure you folks have worked with businesses that did not make it through the pandemic, right? Because they couldn't adapt, whether it was for capital reasons or technology reasons, or they got sick, right? That was another reason that most folks don't talk about, is they got sick and they weren't able to continue on, unfortunately. And so what that did was, these new channels, new fulfillment methods, they're not going away. These weren't things that are just here for COVID, which we're slowly starting to now be in an endemic phase now. These methods are here to stay because they work, right? They help folks really make that transition, so they're not going anywhere, and they'll be adapting. So when we talk about integrating their e-commerce and their physical sales, right now they really need to consider everything. Right? It's not just, okay, my store is here, my website is here, and maybe I have a webmaster that does this. I don't even know where they are, right? If something goes down, I can't get a hold of them, right? Folks really need to own that ownership there. And so they need to differentiate themselves online, right? Everyone went online at the beginning of 2020 that wasn't there. There's still some folks that are slowly still adapting, but now that everyone is in the pool, what are you doing to be different, right? What can you do to make yourself stand out? And we talk about the customer experience being number one. That customer experience is the way they're gonna stand out. How you treat your customers, what your policies are in regards to returns, shipping, promotions, all of that is really gonna help you stand out. And that should be consistent across all of your channels, right? When we talk about them going online, right? That's very generic for that, and that used to mean just getting a website up and running, right? Now it means having your website, which is your center of gravity, really, and then your sales channels, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook shop, Pinterest, right? All of these different options that are now out there, Google Shopping, Google Food Ordering, like all of these different sales channels that are out there all feed into your main website, right? Which is what you own, right? Versus being just on a third-party platform where you don't own your branding, you don't own that customer relationship, which we'll get into a little bit more here. But your website being where you really control your brand, your look and feel, and the relationship with your customers. And so they're asking themselves, do I have a cost position that's competitive online? Again, everyone is going online, everyone's been online. Well, how am I different? How are my offerings competitive in the marketplace? So many folks started their first website, their first online sales channel during the pandemic, right? We saw that especially with restaurants. Restaurants had maybe a basic online website that just had their name, right? Their address, a phone number, maybe a PDF menu for you to just see what you could order, but they couldn't take an order. Many were relying on third-party solutions like a DoorDash or an Uber Eats or Postmates. Well, Postmates, I think, is owned by Uber Eats now. They're combined there. So they had a very, very basic solution, but they didn't have that solution that let them own that relationship where folks come to their website, place their order, the ticket comes directly to them, then they have that data. Who's my customer? What are they ordering? How often do they order? How often do they come back, right? All of that information. So folks are really starting to do that part during the pandemic, and again, that's here to stay, right? That's saving them money versus going through third-party platforms. That's changed the way customers are reacting now as well, right? They're expecting the speed and the option to be able to order online at any time and have that delivered, very rapidly, right? There's a lot of competitors out there. They're going to look to see who can get it there the fastest for them. So that now puts pressure on businesses to be able to compete, right, with some of those bigger brands that are out there. But they can do that, by digitizing their operations and really just having all of that information. And again, these capabilities are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. We'll be seeing new opportunities, new sales channels, being created here in the future as well. And we'll speak a little bit to shipping as well, because it's the future now, right? Folks, and we all know the Amazon effect. Folks want that product and they want it fast and they want it free, right? A small business can't necessarily compete with that. But I mean, the good news is not everyone is buying everything from Amazon, right? No shade to Amazon or anything like that. They're great. I buy stuff through Amazon as well. But not everyone is buying everything from there, right? They're buying from small businesses. I mean, for those of you with Chambers, you saw your businesses really thrive because locals were like, I need to support my small business. I need to support my neighborhood shops, right? We saw that really increase at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's kind of carried through. Yes, sir.
I realized that Amazon is not necessarily the cheapest place to look for stuff.
It's not always the cheapest.
Some item that I was buying, and then I went to Walmart, and the same exact item was like 20% cheaper, and I couldn't believe it. I thought Amazon was the cheapest. So
Yeah.
the misconception.
It is a misconception, right? And there, I always like to tell folks when I do this work, and a lot of the work I do is with the actual small businesses, so this is a little bit different for me. But when I talk to them and they talk to me, they always say, there's enough for everyone out there, right? There's enough business for everyone. Yes.
I think just a comment. So Rachel Coots, AT&T. So we're going through this. I have a lot, if you want to hear all of our experiences about how you move to this future. But I think there are a couple things. One, everybody always wants to say Amazon is the standard. And so if you can't get it there in 2 hours or tomorrow, whatever, then you're screwed. And I would challenge you to say you need to understand who your customers are, because I don't think, for instance, even when I'm trying to get somebody a phone, I don't think they want it in 2 hours. And I think if they did want it in 2 hours, they would pay for it. So, I mean, I think
Yeah.
you have to be wary about what some of this data or what you think this information is telling you, because all it does is add cost to your business, and I think your customers are actually a lot more accepting than you may think.
That's very true, and there's ways for them to leverage their localness to be competitive with like an Amazon or a solution that offers maybe that free shipping, and we'll talk about that. So what are they doing? What do they really need to do to be successful when they're combining their brick and mortar and their online solution? Number one is inventory needs to sync across all their channels, right? And long gone are the days of I have inventory for my in-store and I have a separate spreadsheet for my website, right? That just can't happen anymore, right? Because then you're gonna run into bad customer experiences where someone goes online, it's sold out, or someone comes in person and they grab the last one and now you can't fulfill the online order. That can't happen anymore. That customer experience, that's a poor customer experience, so you can't allow that to happen. So your inventory needs to sync across all your channels. So you need to have a true omni-channel solution, right? It's no this for that, and this for that. It needs to all be speaking together in order for you to be successful. And it cuts out a lot of that extra work for these small businesses as well, right? When we talk to these businesses, they're like, I'm a baker. I opened up a bakery to bake and to feed people. I didn't become a baker to become an accountant, to become a webmaster, to become a delivery specialist, right? But they have to wear you all know they have to wear all those hats, right? If they're a small business, they're wearing all of the hats. They're the marketer, they're the graphic designer, they're everything. Maybe their kids are their graphic designer helping them out with something. So they're struggling with that. Really seeing loyalty programs and gift cards being a major bonus for businesses. And again, those need to work online, in-store, having those loyalty programs, keeping those customers, your loyal customers coming back, rewarding them for that, right? If I'm gonna be going to this coffee shop regularly because I like the coffee there, man, it's awesome. I can get a free one every 10th cup. That's great. I appreciate that. And what's gonna happen, I'm probably gonna tip my barista more because I got my drink for free. So the barista ends up, winning there as well. And then gift cards. We saw gift card usage explode at the beginning of the pandemic. Folks really buying these gift cards online because they wanted to support a business because they knew they'd get that money right away. And many of them we saw went unused, right? Folks were buying them just to support a local business in any way they could, or buying a t-shirt or whatever it was while they were not able to be open. So really leveraging a loyalty program and a gift card program to your advantage, right? To be able to do that, which some of the bigger platforms are not able to do that. So again, using those to leverage that for your competitive advantage. And then using email and social media marketing to help net new customers. Email marketing, I still love email marketing. I mean, folks kind of forget about it. I mean, it's been around forever, right? Email, I mean, it's been around forever, but it's still one of the most highest return on investment if you do it properly. Email marketing, it's still that program versus your social media marketing, which is, gaining ground and it's out there, but that's another channel. I look at email. When we work with small businesses and then we're looking at what their email program is, it's usually just, offer, and it's like, no, like this has to be a conversation with your customers, right? Because now it's just noise. Now it's just an email that's getting filtered. Maybe they're giving you an email because they know it's going to be spam and they just ignore it. It has to be a conversation, right? That email has to be, hey, here's who we are, here's who's running the kitchen, get to know us, where we're from, our kids, that kind of thing, which people will leverage social media for quite a bit, right? You'll see hashtag BTS, behind the scenes. You'll see that leveraged quite a bit for businesses because they'll show maybe, what's going on in the kitchen in the back there while we're busy, who's actually preparing the food, get to know us. Or behind the scenes of me, coming home from my 9 to 5 and I'm in my workshop creating the jewelry that I sell to help, support my family, right? Showing them the real people behind the scenes and creating that relationship with that customer. And then, all the talk here, tools, they need to be scalable, right? They need to be able to start with it, grow with it, and just keep going with it versus, just a one-time use. I mean, curbside pickup went from just a simple, throw it in the trunk and go, and to now it's curbside pickup with specific spots. Now you can text message and you don't even have to talk to anyone. Like they can just do that. They're all moving on up there. Shipping. Shipping is a big one for small businesses, right? And now that you're online and you have this website, you're expected to be able to ship that product anywhere and everywhere at any time, right? This was, I think it was last year that we have a partner, a shipping partner named Shippo, and we do quite a bit of webinars with them, and they had labeled it Shipageddon this past year because just the sheer number of packages that were going out from small businesses, the numbers were just astounding, which again, a small business now has to be a shipping expert, right? They need to know what boxes to use, what packing products to be able to use in there. If they want to be sustainable, if they want to be eco-friendly, now they have to look into which products are going to do that for them as well. So it's, and not only that, the cost of shipping, right? Knowing which provider is going to be best for them and their business. So needing to know that as well. When we talk to businesses, we'll let them know, like, okay, you're online, you're shipping, right? It's okay to let folks know I'm only shipping in Washington, D.C. right now. We're a local shop, right? We can ship anywhere in the tri-state area here, right? This is where we're going. We can then scale, right? We can then move. We're solely the East Coast. It's limited to these states. Now we've got a handle on it. We can ship across the country. Now we've got that under wraps. Let's start shipping to Canada, to Mexico, to the EU, anywhere and everywhere we can do that. But again, those are those expectations, right, that we talk about. People see that you're online, they think you can, because other companies are doing this, that you have to do that as well. And we tell these businesses, don't fall into that trap. Do it at your pace, right? Start with what you can, master that, and then move on to the next step, right? Your real customers are not going to hate you for that, right? They're going to understand that. And that goes back to how you're doing your marketing, right? If you're marketing to them in a way where you're building that relationship, they're getting to know you, they trust you, right? They're gonna accept that just because they know, hey, I know it's Jimmy and Mercedes in the back there packing these boxes for me, and it's gonna get to me. I know it's gonna maybe take a couple more days, but I know it's this local business that I'm supporting. I know they're using that money to support their children, right? Maybe saving for college versus, a larger corporation that I just don't know, where that may be going. And that forces them also to know, when it comes to profitability, what are my units here? What is it gonna really cost me? Is that something I'm gonna charge for? Are they gonna pay for shipping? Am I gonna lose business because I'm charging for shipping? And that comes into that aspect. Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think is better, to build the shipping charges in the price of the item, or give the client a price and charge for shipping separately?
That is a real loaded question. For some, yeah, it could be, there's a risk to either one, right? But it's really about that relationship. If you include it in your overall price, if you're offering something that a lot of other competitors offer is theirs cheaper and they're offering free shipping. It really is just the psychology of what your customer's looking at, right? If you're selling it for $50, right, flat rate, just straight up 50, or if you're selling it for $45.99 plus shipping ends up being $50, like, it's going to be the same price, but there's that psychology of, okay, I paid less for it, right? Because the first price was lower. So it's really just something you'll want to experiment with as a business. Yes, ma'am, in the back.
That's something that we did in our business. We decided whether we were going to include the price, the shipping cost in our products. So we were doing the first one, giving options to the customer whether it was going to be USPS priority and UPS, right? And they will pay for it. Then we saw that maybe including that into the product and put free shipping would be a good one. So we did it too, and it's working. It's just that USPS is not working. But I'm using to do that, and it's a little bit more of a cost. But I think that we are doing good. So that's a business decision that you have to sit down and see the cost of your product and see if that is going to work for your business.
Absolutely. You have to know what your costs are, right? You need to know what your profitability is. So are you saying at one point you guys offered it like the price, the shipping was included in the price, and that was it, and then you did one where it was included, but you added free shipping, so that's the psychology aspect, yeah.
And people will say, oh, okay, it's free. But really, it's not. You know that.
It was free to them, because yeah, that's a great point, right? Hey, shipping is included. Great, that's no additional cost for me. I know what my price is. And so if they're willing to pay that price, it doesn't really matter because they're still getting it for what they wanted. Yes.
Does Square have an aggregator that allows the consumer to pick their delivery company, like FedEx or USPS or a local one?
So
Pick their shipping costs?
So they can. So within Square Online, we have the ability to connect with UPS, USPS, FedEx, and DHL. So you can offer all of those on there if you want, and it'll display the price for each one of them, if you'd like.
Has different pricing metrics.
Yeah.
Volume of units. So sometimes the consumer's like, I hate FedEx. I prefer to use UPS because they treat my package better. I was wondering if you guys just have that API functionality.
We do have that functionality. I don't see it a lot. I usually see smaller businesses sticking to one or two, just because it's simpler for them. But some of the larger ones that we deal with, yeah, we'll see that. They'll offer that on there. We offer integration. We're in Canada as well, so we have Canada Post in there if they wanted to offer that. But yeah, and then that goes to the other option is local delivery, which is something that we're seeing picking up quite a bit of steam, right? They're taking it into their own hands now, and instead of, we think of delivery as like a restaurant or a food option, right? But you can deliver retail package. That's what Amazon does, right? They deliver retail packages. So you as a small business, you can now offer that. You can leverage your localness as well for that, and also with curbside pickup, right? Hey, if you want that, yeah, sure, Amazon can have it to you in 2 days. Guess what? You're 30 minutes away. You can buy it on my website. You can come pick it up today and support a local business, right? They can really leverage that, right? And they're leveraging that because everyone is walking around with one of these in their pocket, and that's contextually aware of where you are. So you can Google search something. It knows where you are. It's going to tell you, okay, this shop is here, this shop is there, and you can see where it's at. Like, I need to pick up this gift. I forgot our anniversary. I'm going to be in trouble. I need something now, right? So not that that's ever happened to me ever. So, going back to inventory strategy, we've heard from our small businesses that is crucial to them, right? Again, having a poor customer experience where something is sold out, not available, right? Having to possibly do a refund, right? Just not a good overall experience. So having that visibility is crucial, right? You just can't have those separate inventories anymore. Everything needs to be in one place. And then that real-time information of knowing, being able to look at, with a click, what do I have in stock? How many are left? How many are there? Because everything is coming in through one location. I know it's all there versus, oh, I think I have 2 more of those red ones in the back. Let me double check, right? No, you can't be doing that. You're too busy. These businesses are too busy to do that anymore. They need to be able to look that up with a click. Going back to the inventory strategy again, inventory and price updates, again, those have to be automatically synced. That has to be there for you. website signaling when your stock is low, right? You need to let these folks know, hey, if you're making a purchasing decision right now, I only have 2 left, right? If you leave, those might be gone, right? So not only do we show that, just for their sake, for the business, but it's also, again, one of those buying cues for customers as well to see, okay, there's only 2 left. I really like it. I should just go ahead and get it before I lose it, right? That's, again, one of those points to the lady's point there. Free shipping is included, free shipping, right? You're still paying for shipping on the back end and the total price, but to them, they know it as free shipping. Yes?
So the reason I wanted to attend this session is because I'm a president of the Hispanic Chamber in Fort Worth, Texas, and so we did have a lot of businesses that struggled with all of this, shifting to e-commerce, and we had several retail stores, and the biggest was not understanding the language on the websites. Is Square able to be switched into Spanish so that Spanish merchants can understand how to navigate and do all this? Because we sat there on a lot of websites translating and one aquí esto and you know what I mean? But it was still a delay for them.
Yeah.
Is it possible that is the Square POS system able to be in Spanish?
It is, yeah. So you can create your account in Spanish, like as long as the browser is set to Spanish language, you can do that. You can create your site in Spanish. We have a partnership within a third-party app that will like translate your site into multiple languages, like with the click, kind of like a Google Translate, right? Click which language. So we do have the ability. But yes, the accounts themselves, like the platform, the dashboard, the builder, that can be in Spanish, yeah. And that's actually one of the biggest workshops that I do is getting online. Like, I mean, I can, I work for Square, right? I can tell folks all day, it's easy, it's fast, it's a do-it-yourself platform. But again, if they're a bakery, they're a small jeweler, that's what they do. They're not a website designer. So the workshop that we do is step 1 through step 100, like all the way through it, building a website, publishing it, placing an order, where to manage it, because I want them to see what it looks like, right? Because versus, hey, it's easy, go do it, it's awesome, and then they're like, pues no sé, no.
Yeah, learn it in your own language.
Yeah.
And then that's what we saw during the pandemic.
Yeah. Because we were doing that as well, like, oh, we've got these guides, you can do it yourself, just read this, do that, easy, and then we saw folks weren't doing it. It's like, why? We're like, well, I want somebody to walk me through it. It's like, well, let's walk you through it then. And being virtual really helped with that, right? So I could have chambers of commerce from all over the country, have folks log in and watch it at the same time. So that really helped with that. Again, reporting, telling you what needs to be refilled, right? Your point of sale system should be letting you know, hey, you're getting low on this, you're getting low on that. Your reporting should also be telling you, this is your best seller, right? This is what's selling, this is what's hot, this is what's not. Stop buying inventory for this because it's just gonna sit there, right? Maybe this is the product you wanna put on sale now because you have a lot of it that's not moving, right? So really the systems being able to tell you that. Then integrations, again, for third-party fulfillment. A lot of what we offer is first-party, but we have a ton of amazing partners that we work with that can add to their website for third-party fulfillment, shipping, food delivery. We partner with just about everyone out there. So we talk about them using their website to drive traffic to their actual business, right? Because it can absolutely be a tool for that as well, right? Using exclusives, events, and video. Video has always been the king of content, but it really just exploded even more so now, right? You have Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram now is mostly all video. I mean, it's the content that people are consuming, so you need to be able to take advantage of that. And again, using that content to, hey, we have an exclusive event going on, we've got a small pop-up happening this weekend, come into the shop, right? Driving that, using those channels to drive that into your shop, that they're only gonna get this pricing when they come in this weekend or this specific item, right? Letting them know that, so using that to your advantage. And then your e-commerce solution, your point of sale, really needs to help enroll your customers in your loyalty program and your gift card program, right? Having all that speak together all at once is really gonna be a key factor for you. We've seen memberships have become very, very popular during the pandemic and continue to do so, right? Memberships for a wine club, memberships for, learning classes, just using those to do that. And again, to my point earlier, using email, text message marketing, social media to connect, not just to sell. That's probably the biggest sin I see small businesses committing when they're doing their marketing. And again, they don't know. They think I need to just be putting commercials out there all the time or they won't buy. That's not the case, right? They're gonna buy you, right? They're gonna buy, if they're buying local, they're gonna buy from you. They're gonna buy from this business, from Juan's Bakery to Belinda's dress shop, right? They wanna buy from that person. So using that marketing to connect with them, getting to know them, right? Every so often sending an email or a marketing that is not selling to them, just updating them. Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, right? Hey, by the way, our shop is gonna be closed this weekend because we're remodeling. We've heard some requests from you all that you want more dressing rooms or you want this or that. Letting them know, we've heard you, right? We're making changes because we've heard your feedback and this is why we're doing that, right? Building that relationship with them.
Do y'all have data on how much email and text messaging is enough before you annoy people?
That is a fine balance. That's a fine line to balance, right? I mean, I usually start with like 2 a month, just to keep that kind of in mind. Is there anyone here from Groupon? No. Again, not to bash, but I get a lot of emails from them, right? I buy stuff from Groupon all the time, but I get a lot of emails. So much so that I don't even look at them anymore, right? They're just noise at this point now. But really, balancing that fine line of, oh, I'm getting an email from my favorite shop. Let me open it and see what it is. To, oh man, they're sending me another marketing promo. Yes, just.
Question for you. Do you guys offer any tools for small businesses to sort of look at their online presence to sort of help them stand out a little bit? Or is it something that they just sort of work on?
So our solution is a do-it-yourself solution. We have a ton of guides and videos to help them with building it. We also have partnerships with third-party designers that can spruce it up for them. We have our Square Photo Studio, which helps them take like professional photos and remove like the background, so they can put a different color background or no background for their items. So there is some of that we do, but for the most part, I mean, we've made it so simple that they can do it themselves. Absolutely, yeah. You have to be. I mean, you have to. Yeah, you can connect to Google Analytics, add your Facebook Pixel, any of that. For that data as well. No, go ahead. For conversions, yeah. So you'll be able to, like Google Analytics is a great one for that. They'll give you that information. We'll have a dashboard in there showing them you had this many visits, you had this many orders, what their conversion rate is. So yeah, there is that data in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and with the website analytics, you'll be able to see I got this many visitors from this Instagram, Facebook, wherever that might be. Conversion rate. Yes. It's mobile first, so I mean it has to be mobile friendly today, right? You can't not be mobile friendly because you're not gonna survive, right? I mean everyone is doing everything on their phone now, so if it's not mobile friendly, they're just gonna go away from there and they're gonna pick somebody else. Just specifically to Square, we've seen. I think the numbers right now are 80% of the orders coming through Square online websites are from a mobile device. From a mobile device, right? That's, yeah, I mean, it's convenient, it's easy.
And then I have a comment. I'm a client of Square here in DC, but I live in Puerto Rico now, and Square is not there. So I went to open a brick and mortar store. I'm going to plug you in. Puerto Rico in your jurisdiction.
I have been waving that flag for some time, and hopefully it's coming soon. We're expanding globally. Just in the past year and a half, we've expanded to Spain, France, Ireland, Portugal is next. That's in the process. So, and then Latino America will follow.
Well, please go to Puerto Rico.
Yes. Funny story about that. We have some customers down there that use the free point of sale app to just mark transactions. And because the point of sale application is free, right? So they download it and like they're taking payments, like whether it's a card or cash, and they're just putting them all in this cash. So they have a record of all their transactions, then they get the data from there. So they use that. So they can't, use it for card transactions, but they can still use that. But hopefully we'll be changing that soon. Yes, ma'am.
And I will advocate for Puerto Rico. I mean, you are losing money.
Oh, I know. I know.
Look at how many restaurants,
Oh, we've seen it. We're looking.
Sorry. We are unique to Latin America because of our relationship, direct relationship to the United States. And it's not that our infrastructure is perfect. It's not. But let me tell you, they do business there like crazy.
Oh yeah, and I mean I don't know the.
No supply. Gonna apply here, gonna apply over there.
Yeah.
And more.
I don't know the exact reason why, but something to do with the money transaction licensing is different, but we're working on it. We are actually working on it.
We understand it's an island, it's outside, really out of the territory. It's a territory is out of the mainland and all that. We understand. We have our own incredibly regulations in there. We have the federal regulations that it's over our own, but you still have other regulations within the
Yeah.
government. It makes it a little bit.
Yeah, I always say I always thought it would be easier, but for some reason it's a lot more complex than we've anticipated, and that's really the only reason why is that complexity. But it's coming.
That is your biggest step away from USHCC. That's giving us a sign.
Yeah. So we do a lot. We sponsor and we do a lot of work with the Association of Women's Business Centers, and their conference is in Puerto Rico this year. So I'm like, do I go? But because I can't offer anything there, but they're amazing. So getting back to engagement strategy, right? We've seen digital events blowing up. I mean, everyone's tired of Zoom classes, right? But they're still out there. There's still that percentage of folks that, man, I like doing this now, right? I like doing my fitness class, my yoga class from my living room. I'm going to continue to do so. So if you have that demand for that, great, keep doing it, right? That's something that was developed during the pandemic that really grew and is still around. Keep using it if it works for you, right? But we were seeing that digital events, packaging with other local businesses, right? We saw a lot of that as well for folks to be able to really draw in bigger crowds. The yoga studio partnering with the local wine shop, right? Yoga and wine this weekend, right? From this business and that business together, right? The cheese shop, obviously partnering with the wine shop makes perfect sense, right? So just those different partnerships that you can look to package together to help draw in some of that business. We've seen businesses throwing block parties, right? The traditional block party where they're all, hey, we're all gonna do this weekend. We're all gonna offer a special deal for the block party, visit all of the businesses. We've seen them doing things like, your business passport, get a stamp at each business, and then doing a raffle at the end. Folks have really, really gotten creative to be able to, again, bring in that business back to their locations, back into their downtowns, and with other businesses. And then being able to measure that success. To your point, what am I getting? What's my return here, right, on my investment? How am I converting, right? How many people came in this weekend and mentioned that you saw this promotion on Instagram? Right, is it working? And maybe I have a special promotion. Use this coupon, on Instagram. Use this promotion for an in-store purchase for this specific deal. Right? How many times was that redeemed? Right? Okay, great. That brought in 100 people and gave me this much in sales, which led to this much in profit. After all said and done, was it worth it? Is it worth it? It's a free platform. If you're not using ads, so it's a great platform to be able to do that. TikTok is the next big one now, right? That started out as the silly dances, but is now also become an e-commerce juggernaut as well, just like Instagram did, right? Instagram was just posting pictures, right? And now you can order from just about every major brand has a connection to their Instagram account to be able to purchase from there. So it's become quite a bit of an e-commerce juggernaut there. When we talk, some of the takeaways here, having a budget to increase online visibility and drive traffic. I mean, you have to know that there's gonna be an investment here, right? It's not gonna come free. It's not gonna come easy, right? Knowing that up front, you have to be in a startup mode, right? You have to be in a startup mode to know, all right, how much am I gonna pay for Google Ads? How much am I gonna pay to promote my Facebook post or my Instagram post, right? What is that gonna cost me, and what is it gonna bring back into that? So just knowing that ahead of time, because businesses don't know that. They know, oh, you need to be online, you need to do this. They go to do that. They run into the brick wall of, well, it's gonna cost you this, and they didn't anticipate that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have clients that just because they say, okay, you're gonna do my Instagram and my website, they think next day they're gonna have 100 people lined up.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's magically done. And
Well, that's that world we live in of instant gratification, right? It's up, build it and they will come. It used to be the motto, but now it's build it and work it and work it and work it, right? Build up your followers, build up your posts, your content. Have a content strategy, number one, right? Not just posting the front of our building every single day. Like, I've seen that 10 times now. Maybe I'm tuning that out, right? Having a content strategy is key. What are we going to be posting? Right? What do people want us to post? Do they want us to post pictures of the food so they can use this as a de facto menu? Right? Do they want to see that? Do they want to know how we make our recipes, where we got our inspiration for the recipes, who our chefs are? Like, all that content that you can post out there, having that strategy of doing that is really, really going to be key. And just knowing that it's going to come with some bumps, right? It's going to be hard. If it's just you're a sole proprietor, you're now a social media expert. You're a social media marketing program for your own business, and you're learning on the go. It's gonna take a bit, but it can, again, to the earlier point, starting with one thing and ramping up, getting to know that, working on that. Maybe you hire someone to do that, a freelancer. There's a ton of freelancers out there that will do that work for you, or one of your kids. we hear that a lot as well. My grandkid is the one posting up, my Instagram pictures. How do you think they look? It's like, they look great. They look fantastic. They look, they've got an eye for that. And again, being ready to ramp up quickly. To your point there, we've only got 100 followers, right? What's going to happen if you go viral and you jump up to 1,000, to 50,000, to 100,000? Are you prepared to handle that, right? Because you want to be out there, like to your point, well, where are all the people at? I'm up and running. Are you ready for that? A lot of people are not. They're not ready to go viral. They think they want to be viral. I mean, they absolutely should, because it's going to bring in that business, but are they ready for it? And for the most cases, they're not. Like, get ready to be viral, because you never know when that's going to happen, right? That's not something you plan. It's something that just happens. And to that point, you have to be willing to commit to that, right? If you're committing to a content strategy, to a marketing strategy, to an e-commerce solution, you have to commit to that. You have to put in the work, because it is going to be work. It's not easy. It's not simple. The tools out there that are out there now have never been easier to use, right? It's never been easier to get online or to get onto social media, but there is that process that you have to do to make it work properly. Yes? Mm-hmm.
So that they can use these type of tools. But not only this tool, with the conjunction of the other tool. And I think that everyone should take that role on. Not just doing it, but enabling them and being that, kind of, not somewhat subject matter expert. So we're part of the SBA Navigator grant. We're
Mm.
going to be implementing some of these execution areas, and we actually help them execute on this. So that's something that I think that's why you're here too, because that's part of the play. But I think that we need to take, you're going to see some small businesses here, but mostly like chamber presidents and things like that. And our role is to really help those small businesses say, hey, you can find that support here.
Absolutely. And that's why they're coming to you, right? Because they want a chamber to be a resource for them. Show me how to do this, right? I know these businesses that are successful are doing this. Show me how to do that as well. The payback, when we talk about being willing to commit and sticking to it, right? The payback is going to be worth it. So there's going to be that pain period at the beginning, learning the programs, learning the platforms, knowing what works, what gets engagement, what gets likes, what gets shares, right? The payback is going to be worth it, because if you build it, again, they will come, but it's that middle part in between there where all the work is being done. Using these tools online to interact with your customers. Again, these are great ways to interact with your customers, right? Never before have you had access to these brands out there where you can DM them and let them message them and talk to someone and be able to comment on their posts and then reply back like, oh man, I got a reply back from this company, right? They're actually listening to what we're doing on there. They're not just posting, but they're actually interacting with folks. So using those tools, again, same thing with email. Marketing, your email marketing platform, using it to make a connection with them versus just selling to them. And then just in any business, in any format, right, you have to be ready to adjust at all times, right? The big word out of COVID at the beginning was pivot, right? We heard that word pivot so much, it just got worn out because everybody, we pivoted. But that happens. You have to be able to adjust all the time, right? There's different market trends. There's different, look at the issues we're having right now with the supply chain, right? You have to have ready to adjust to that, right? Not getting your inventory in the timely fashion that you were used to. Maybe not getting it at all because it's stuck out there in the port on these shipping containers and you're just not able to get it. How do you adjust to that? You know, you work with your local folks. Where else can we source this products, right? Maybe you have someone that makes that product that you can sell to other members, right? It's just about being able to adjust and be ready at all times. Should just keep this in my hand. Don't be scared. If you're starting a business, I know you're not scared, right? Because starting a business is scary. It's very scary. In high school, my dad, he had been a foreman for several large plastering companies in the Phoenix area for many years. And when I was in high school, he started his own business, right? Because he was like, I've been the boss. I want to be my own boss. And that took a lot of guts for him to do that because the company told him, we're going to crush you, right? You're nobody. Like, you're only known because you work for us, right? We're the big business. You work for us. You're not going to be able to make it. He lasted 15 years, so that was a good plus. But he wasn't scared, right? That didn't scare him. He's like, I'm going to do it anyway, right? Whether I fail tomorrow or I fail in 20 years, I'm going to keep doing it. So don't be scared to, start with these new tools. They are scary. They can be, a little daunting because you don't know it, right? Again, you're not in the business. You didn't start a business to become a social media expert, an email marketing expert, any of that. But there are tools. There are plenty of resources. I mean, all the resources are here, right? All the chambers that are here. Not thinking of a website as a means to end, right? Having a website is not the end all be all. You can't just put it up. It can't just be static and sit there, right? It has to be something where folks come to, they engage with it, it's updated, it's fresh, right? You're using it not only for online orders, but you're using it to drive traffic, you're using it to drive awareness of maybe any philanthropic efforts you may be making in the community, right? Letting folks know you're a pillar in the community. And then it just goes to being everywhere your customers are. If all your customers are on Instagram, you'd better have a great presence on Instagram, right? If all of your customers are known to order from apps, you'd better have a solution to do that, or be on those platforms, or have a solution that competes with them, being able to deliver yourself, right? We saw that huge pivot of restaurants hiring delivery drivers themselves to not have to eat those costs of the platforms that are out there and owning that relationship with their customer. Right? Because if they go through a third-party application, that data is going to them. That's not your customer. You're now the customer of the platform, right? Someone's coming to order directly from your website. You have that data, what they order, when they order it, where area they're in. And you can start getting all of this data to see, oh, man, all my orders are coming from this specific neighborhood at these specific times. This is when I need to be staffed, right? So that data leads to that. This is when I need to be staffed. This is what they're ordering the most. This is what I need to be having the ingredients for. Right? All of that data comes back to those business decisions down the road. Yes, sir.
I have a client that has that problem with the prices and the delivery problem, and they ended up ordering website Grasshop, where
Grubhub?
Grasshop.
Mm-hmm.
They basically take 30% of the order.
Yeah.
As a small business, that hurts so much to say 30% is too much for me to be delivering this food. So what he ended up doing is he's still offering that service, but for local delivery, he sent every order with like now log into our local
Yes.
delivery with a little piece of paper. I created that with him, and now we're doing the local deliveries without the 30%. Clients are getting it now. They're ordering from his personal website rather than use these other.
That's fantastic. I've heard many similar stories to that. The platforms are out there, right? Those ordering platforms are out there, and you can definitely use those to gain customers, right? To gain market share, but to do what they exactly did, right? So someone's ordering from Uber Eats. In that bag, I'm putting in a flyer. Get 10% off your next order. Order it directly if you order directly from our website.
Free plan.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, to that point. Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. I'll see you in the round table. That's an excellent point. We've seen a lot of businesses doing that because whether or not they have any control over it, their customers are using those platforms, and they're like, okay, this is a person that we've never seen in our ordering system before, right? We need to be putting flyers in there.
One more little thing. People are lazy. They have their credit card in these order systems, and
Yeah.
for some reason they need like an action. And you need a call to action. Like let me give you a free something for you to put your credit card on the new system.
Yeah.
Other than that, they just keep ordering from where they already have the
Save
credit
the
card.
credit card info.
You have to
Right.
to do something.
It's like, why would I switch and put in my new card info? I don't want to do that. But man, I'm gonna get this free flan that I know is delicious. So I will do that, right? And now they can save that in your ordering platform, and now they can just stick with yours. Yes.
I was gonna say on Square's e-commerce platform to combat that issue, do you guys have the direct integration to like Apple Pay or Samsung Pay or Google Pay?
We do. Yeah. So yeah, you can do obviously any kind of credit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, tap payments. Cash App is a Square business, so you can pay with Cash App as well. Square now has an integration with Afterpay. So Square, that's the other business I forgot. Square purchased Afterpay. So Afterpay is now a Square company, or a Block company, excuse me. So now you can, on your website, you can offer Afterpay, right? For those that don't know, the buy now, pay later, break it up into 4 payments, right? The new layaway, but you get your goods up front, right? So that's another resource out there. So yeah, being able to take payments of any kind is crucial. So that is my presentation. I don't know if I went over or where we're at, but if we have time, I'm happy to answer questions. On time. I do have some old business cards here. If anyone wants to connect, happy to with anyone.